It is time for another Matich Monday with ESPN college football insider, analyst, and expert, not to mention the BYU national champion, Trevor Matich. Trevor, welcome back to the program. BYU now 9-2. They do enough to beat Georgia Southern in kind of a hard-fought, hostile environment. What'd you think of BYU's performance against Georgia Southern?
It was a little sloppy in the beginning, and then they came out in the second half and did what ranked teams do. They totally controlled the game. And by the way, did you guys enjoy your burritos?
Absolutely. I got a few things thrown on me, Trevor, not just burritos. It was an interesting experience.
I bet you did.
Wow.
Listen, when we were at Utah my senior year, they threw rolls and nickels at us. So
I just feel part of the club now.
Was that my senior year or freshman year? One of the two. Anyway, they were throwing things that would like bang off your helmet. It was loud up there. Burritos would just go thud. Not that big of a deal. Hey. So that's although I'll tell you what, if I were Coach Sataki at the end when they were taking these, because you guys know, I mean, with about 8 minutes to go, BYU just basically ran out the clock all the way to the end. And with less than 2 minutes to go, they were in victory formation, and Georgia Southern's defense committed 2 personal fouls while BYU was just trying to kneel on the ball by driving forward. They took the helmet off of Joe Tukuafu and, you know, all kinds of things. 2 penalties. Now they're down at the 6-yard line. If I'm BYU, I line up in victory formation and then throw a touchdown pass. Then I go for 2. That's 42 points, right? Then I would have sent 42 burritos to the Georgia Southern locker room after the game with a big thank you note, right? I'd have gathered them up off the sideline and sent them. That's what I would have done. You know, Coach Sataki took the high road and he did the classy thing. But for me, sometimes you got to put a size 16 boot in their back and grind them into the mud, and that was the time to do it.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Really feel.
I'm with you there.
Yeah.
I was mad that BYU didn't score again. I was like, go score again.
Like, yes, I wanted to.
Although
Go ahead, Trevor.
What would you want, Jarom? No. Yeah, you were getting fired up there.
I'm tired of the Sun Belt on the road. I really am. Coastal Carolina, pieces of work last year. Georgia Southern throwing burritos at the guys. Yeah. Tom Homo. You know what? We don't need to play the Sun Belt on the road ever again.
With my decision to go ahead and go for that touchdown, go for 2, and send the 42 burritos to the locker room, that's based on pure sheer logic. But when your guys' emotion dies down, you'll decide and you'll see that Coach Sataki did the right thing, because this has become a famous thing around college football this week, you know, with all the burritos and everything else adds to it. And everyone will see that BYU took the high road. That's the way you're supposed to do it. So when you guys calm down, you'll see that. My decision would have been logic, pure logic, not emotional at all.
You're right. We need to take some deep breaths here in Studio B.
Yeah,
okay.
I've never been logical or
I would have scored and I would have gone for 2.
Yes.
Really?
And then an onside kick.
Kyle
Whittingham.
To humiliate you, and you're doing this? Really?
Yeah. What else was thrown at you?
Hey.
Oh, you know, I had some adult beverages thrown on me. It was, you know, it was an interesting experience.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Did you have to go see the bishop?
You know what? I felt like it because it smelled interesting on my jacket the rest of the game. But you know what? I was told that I was in the clear for that, so it's all good.
Yeah, don't get pulled over, and don't light a match, by the way.
This is great advice. Trevor Matich is with us on BYU Sports Nation. After all of that madness, Trevor, and BYU's 17-point win against Georgia Southern, the Cougars do climb a spot in the AP poll to number 13, but we all know that the college football playoff poll matters most. What do you expect to happen with BYU in the college football playoff poll after a wild weekend?
They have a chance to move up, and they should move up. I mean, that was a good win for BYU, especially the way they finished that game. So I think they'll move up. The question is, will they have enough juice to move up into probably the top 10 will be necessary in order to get a New Year's 6 bid? Because that's kind of what the idea is right now. Is that a possibility? And if you look at where they are now, of course, the new ranking comes out. But here's some things that would need to happen in BYU's favor. First, they have to beat USC. It would be good if they beat them convincingly. And while USC has got some problems, they're still a very dangerous team. So that's not a given. But Oregon just lost to Utah, so BYU fans were Utah fans, and it worked. Way to cheer for the Utes. Now cheer for them again so that Oregon loses another game. And Oregon also has the rivalry game with Oregon State, so that's a possible loss. But Oregon needs to pick up another loss to drop down below BYU, maybe 2. Michigan State needs to lose, hopefully badly for BYU fans, to Penn State, in the last game of the regular season, and that may drop them below BYU. Oklahoma State needs to make sure that they bounce Oklahoma out of there, because right now, in last week's poll, Oklahoma was ahead of BYU. And then BYU can't get jumped by Wisconsin. Last week in the ranking, BYU at 14, Wisconsin at 15. And Wisconsin is right now one of the hottest teams in America, with a defense that statistically is playing on par with Georgia's defense. And so Wisconsin, BYU has to make sure they don't get jumped. But if all of those things happen, there's a possibility BYU could move up close enough to be considered for a New Year's Six bowl. That's for the fans to think. It's for analysts and pundits to think. The team isn't thinking that. They've got to be thinking about those Trojans.
I love just the, if all this happens, then this. It's hopefully it all happens. That'd be amazing.
It happened in 1984.
It certainly did.
All that happened in 1984.
You know what else happened in 84? BYU was undefeated. BYU's got 2 losses. It's just
that's true too.
It's different.
BYU didn't lose to Boise State.
Too soon still. Okay, the Nakuas.
I know.
I love the Puka Nakua play where he shoves a dude right in the face after Sampson gets pushed. Mm-hmm. This didn't happen at the end of halftime last year against Coastal Carolina. Sunbelt. What is it with the Sunbelt again? You've talked about the aggression of the receivers, mostly in actually catching the ball. But do the Nakuas, to me, Trevor, they epitomize the difference of this team versus many other BYU teams. The toughness, the fight, the juice. They brought it. I think that's partially why BYU's 9-2 and maybe not 7-4 at this point. What do you think of the Nakuas and that play and what they brought to this team?
I loved it that Puka did that. I just absolutely loved it. If the game were close, if it were a game that they couldn't afford to have a penalty, then you have to just eat that. But in the moment, it was the right thing to do. And the reason is that Georgia Southern was trying to do that back to them. Now, you can't just retaliate and get in trouble. Normally, you let them lose their composure. You don't lose yours. But I did not see that as Puka losing composure. I saw that as him coming to the defense of his brother. And I think all the team saw the same thing. And they're all brothers. I mean, every bit as much as Puka and Sampson are. And so I'm not advocating for committing personal foul penalties. You know, I got punched in the head a lot on the football field, and I never retaliated because I knew it was going to be 15 yards on them. Yay, we win, right? But there comes a time when you got to put your boot in their back and grind them into the mud. And that was a moment where brother needed to come to the defense of brother. I hope they don't do it again, because it could hurt them in the game. But in that moment, it was the right thing, because you're right. I mean, early on, Georgia Southern came out as the chippy team, and BYU just kind of muddled through it a little bit until BYU kind of lit on fire. And so I want to say again, I don't condone committing personal fouls. You're best off just eating that, and the next play, beating them into the ground. But there's a time when you got to push back.
ESPN's Trevor Matich is with us on another Matich Monday as part of BYU Sports Nation's coverage. Trevor, when I look at the bowl scenario, I know BYU is slated for the Independence Bowl right now in Shreveport, Louisiana. Yet. They have not accepted. And then I'm looking at a scenario in the Big 12 with a team like Texas, who is now not going to be bowl eligible after losing to West Virginia. And I'm doing the math and thinking, okay, well, I know the Big 12 is going to have an open spot for one of those bowl games. If BYU goes 10-2 and they're a top 15 team, is it not in ESPN's best interest to elevate BYU to a different bowl game? What do you think?
It would be in the broadcast, the ESPN's interest, I believe. It would be definitely in the bowl's interest to get BYU in there, because BYU is a team that moves the needle. Texas is a team that moves the needle. But right now, that needle just poked them in the ear, and they're not going anywhere in the postseason. So having BYU is a real boon. It's also a boon for the community, because BYU fans show up. And it's not good for hotels so much, because I think BYU fans don't need to travel because they're already there, right? But BYU fans will travel. I mean, it was interesting. My freshman year at BYU, we played SMU in the Holiday Bowl, and that was the Miracle Bowl, where Jim McMahon threw that touchdown with no time left on the clock to Gordon Hudson to win the game. That was just the Miracle Bowl. What happened on that one was that a ton of BYU fans had come down from Provo to San Diego, and we were getting beat by 20 points with 4 minutes to go. So a lot of them left. They're driving up I-15. They don't have the radio on. BYU got waxed by a really good SMU team as far as they were concerned. And they didn't realize that BYU had come back to win that game until the next day when they read the paper, right? So BYU fans travel. They've always traveled. And then they come from local and buy tickets. And that's the important thing. So you'll get guys in hotels. You'll get restaurants good, and hopefully not the bars. And you'll get fans in the seats, and you'll get viewers on TV. These are things that make BYU attractive for any bowl game.
Trevor, it's great to speak with you every week. We're looking forward to another fantastic week of college football with Ohio State, Michigan, of course, BYU and USC. And we'll make sure that we get those 42 burritos sent over to Georgia Southern.
Well, 34 now because
we didn't score and go for 2.
Did not go for it. Yeah. So 34, that was BYU's final point total. Send them over there with a very nice note and say, we really appreciate you.
Thanks.
We consider you to be our reverend brothers.
Yeah.
BYU, reverend on Sundays, not so much on Saturdays.
Trevor, great to talk to you. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.